In this video, we're going to solve the system of equations algebraically using substitution. But in this problem, we don't have both equations already solved for y, or any variable for that matter. But we're going to start by writing the two problems, rewriting them side by side, so we have room underneath them to work. So 2x plus 3y equals 11, and then over to the side of that, x minus y equals 3. Now our first task is to figure out what variable we want to solve for out of the two variables in two equations. So basically we have four choices. So if we look at, let's say the x in the first equation, we see that it has a 2 in front of it, and therefore that would involve dividing. If we look at the y in this first equation, same problem. It has a 3 in front of it, and we'd have to divide, possibly have fractions. If we look at the x in the second equation, we notice that the x is all alone, and that would be pretty easy to solve for. Now the y right next to it also is pretty easy, but it does have a negative. So it would be easier to solve for the x rather than that y. So we're going to solve for x in this second equation. And again, this beginning part of deciding who to solve for is probably what's going to make or break the work through the problem. It'll make it easier or harder. So by making the right choice, making a good selection, it'll go much easier. So in this problem, we want to solve for x. So here's our equal sign. And therefore we need to move that minus y, and we can move that from one side to the other by adding its opposite. So we're going to add y to both sides, and that will get us x equals, because the y's add to 0 and go away, 3 plus y. Now this is what we're going to then take and substitute in. Instead of x, we're going to put 3 plus y into the first equation for x. And when we do that, we have 2 that's there, and it's going to be multiplied times the 3 plus y that we're inserting in its place, plus the 3y equals 11 that's already there. So now once we've made this substitution, we have one equation with one variable that we're going to solve. We'll start by distributing the 2 into the 3 and then to the y, and that will give us 6 plus 2y, plus the 3y equal 11 that's already there. Then we notice that we have like terms on the left-hand side. We have a 2y and a 3y, and they're going to go together to make a 5y. So the 6, the 5y is a plus, positive, and equals 11 is what's remaining. So now our goal is to isolate the y on the left-hand side of the equation. So we're going to move the 6 by adding its opposite, minus 6 to both sides. That'll get us 5y equals 5. And last but not least, we'll undo the 5 by dividing both sides by 5 and getting y equal 1. So there's the first part of our answer. And now what we're going to do is take that answer and go back to where we have it solved for x and insert the y of 1, except I forgot a plus sign in the middle. So we now have x equals 3 plus 1, or 4. And if we take those two answers, our y equal 1 that we found in the beginning and the x equal 4 that we found in the end, we have our ordered pair 4, 1. And that's the solution to this equation.